Hello to you and thank you for joining us. We are here with our program Fundamental Concepts in the Wisdom of Kabbalah with Rabbi Dr. Michael Laitman. Hello, Dr. Laitman. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. The topic of our program today is the will to receive. Before we start with this idea in itself and all the questions that I've gathered from many people who are beginning to be interested in the wisdom of Kabbalah, I'd like to tell you and the viewers something about the angle from which we have this program. For the benefit of our viewers, I will try to be not Oren, but someone who now meets this wisdom and he has an opportunity to come to you and learn the language in which the Kabbalists have been speaking between them across the generations. This language is like a journey to a magical word. Every word that you say shines 1,001 different emotions and thoughts, and we need this guidance so that we can truly enter with you and travel in this world of spiritual concepts. Every time we'll acquire a new concepts, and gradually we'll build a picture that will help us, those who are truly interested in this wisdom, to take the beginning and go through our spiritual development in a way that is the most exciting, the one that touches the heart and is the most intimate as possible. That's the goal of the program. And today, the concept we want to learn from you is, as I said, the will to receive. One of the first concepts that we come across when we hear about Kabbalah is the will to receive. Simply, I understand a desire to receive, a will to receive. I have a desire, I feel it once in a while, but it seems like in the wisdom of Kabbalah, this concept, the will to receive, represents a lot more than I think or feel. So the first question is, why is talking about the desire is so central in the wisdom of Kabbalah? Because it is truly central in the whole of creation. The desire is in creation. What does that mean? Dr. Laitman, what did the Creator create? A desire. Simply a desire. And there is nothing other than that. And the whole of creation, from its beginning to its end, is only a desire. A desire to receive, a desire to enjoy, a desire to feel the Creator in all kinds of different forms. And besides the desire, there is only the Creator. A force that creates the desire, fills it, manages it, changes it. This is why, besides the desire and the Creator, there is nothing more. There is nothing else in reality. Or in other words, the way we say this in the wisdom of Kabbalah, the desire is called a kli, a vessel, and the influence of the Creator over it is called light. Therefore, everything is included in these two things, light and vessel. We are going to learn about the desire in the wisdom of Kabbalah. What will this study tell me? What does knowledge or studying of the desire bring me? Dr. Laitman, that we will know what to do with our desire, because from all the different kinds of desire that we see and discover in whatever there is in our world and in general in the whole of reality, in all of the world, it's all only a desire. And this desire craves to be filled with light, with higher energy, higher light. And this is why here it turns out that we can learn how the Creator created the desire, how by influencing the desire, it brings it to a development, and where do we participate in that development, and to which form we should reach. When people speak to me about my desire, the way that I'm built, it sounds to me like the studies of ordinary studies of psychology. So the question is, in Kabbalah, do we study men's desires like we study them in psychology? And if not, what's the difference? Dr. Laitman. No, and I also can't say how they research the desires and qualities of men in psychology, because I'm not a psychologist and I'm not engaging in that. However, in the wisdom of Kabbalah, we study psychology, if we can say that, men's desires and the way that they change, and how we can change those desires and manage them, and how through managing our desires we reach such states that are altogether not even, they don't even exist before us in this world. What does that mean? That we can change our desires, we can bring them to such states that we will discover a higher reality, meaning above this world in all kinds of different forms, that the will to receive is a will to receive. That's the whole matter of creation. However, that will to receive can be used as it is, as it comes to us, to our awareness. This is called in order to receive, in order to fill it up and enjoy that fulfillment, or in the opposite manner, when we make a restriction over the will to receive, our natural will to receive, and we want to use it in the opposite form to it, meaning that we will receive. Of course, the will to receive cannot do anything except to receive, but that we will receive in it only in order to bestow. And here there is already kind of a turn in the form of the research and the implementation of it, which are very different, kind of weird. But we can use the will to receive seemingly in the opposite way of how it was given to us to begin with. The opposite, that's that word to bestow that you said? Yes. What does this word to bestow mean? Dr. Laitman, if I don't use the will to receive in order to enjoy what it receives, but rather in order to delight someone that I receive from, on the condition that by that I give pleasure to someone outside of me, then my will to receive is seemingly working in the opposite manner of itself, in order to bestow, as we call it. And this enables an additional development, Dr. Laitman. Yes, this enables in the same will to receive to have a different development, that I am seemingly a vessel of bestowal instead of a vessel of reception. Oren, now, besides the fact that in the wisdom of Kabbalah they speak a lot about the desire, the will, they also define that man's essence is the desire. Man's essence is a desire, Dr. Laitman, not only man. The whole still and vegetative and animate, all the parts of creation from its beginning to its end, it's all in all a will to receive. All right, so let's take everything you said now and break it down. Let's start with men, actually. In a person, there are many other things. Why focus specifically on the desire? I have in me characteristic qualities, thoughts, ideas. So why do they say that my essence is just a desire? Dr. Laitman, because indeed, besides the will to receive, there is nothing else inside of us, and it only depends on how we use the will to receive. And here there's a question already. What do I use it for? And how much and where, in which manners, and so on and so forth. From here already stems all of the practical form of using the will to receive. But the will to receive in itself, that's the foundation. What about thoughts, qualities of character? Are these not in my essence? Dr. Laitman, no. They're just around that will to receive. For what purpose do I use the will to receive? For what sake? In what form? And so on. And here already we begin to develop all kinds of different manners of usage of the will to receive, and from that we get all the different forms of science and culture and education and whatever you want. All right, so can we say the following, that in the essence of man, in the essence there is only a desire, and around this essence there are many additional things. Dr. Laitman, whatever this will to receive draws in its different manners of usage. Or so why do we define that the essence of it is the desire? What do we want to teach by that? Dr. Laitman, because it only wants to receive. That's its quality, its nature, its character. And this is the force that is managing everything else, the thoughts, the emotions. Dr. Laitman, correct. And besides that, there is nothing. All the rest is born out of it. These are consequences. I get that. Another question. Is the desire a part of my personality, or is the my unique structure of personality born out of the desire? Dr. Laitman, the desire is the foundation, as we said, and from the desire, everything else is born. My personality, Oren's unique personality also? Dr. Laitman, certainly. Okay, I understand. It's difficult for a person who starts to be interested in his wisdom to hear that his essence is a desire. Why is it difficult for us? Dr. Laitman, this is our nature, it's all we have, it's the whole of the universe, the stars, the place, the space, whatever you might want to say, the still, vegetative, animate, speaking, people, these are all forms of the will to receive.
Okay.
Why don't we see the will to receive, let's say, that exists in the still? What kind of desire do the still has? Stars, planets? Dr. Laitman, okay, this is still, right? A pen. Yes. What does it want? In the end, it wants to maintain itself in the form that it has. And this is the essence of the pen? Dr. Laitman, this is the essence. I'm not talking about the pen specifically, but the still in general. Yes, yes. So the essence of the still is to hold itself in its still. So what does the vegetative want, if we may ask that? Dr. Laitman, the vegetative wants to develop, to grow, to develop. So you have a certain beginning of it, a seed, in which there is matter, which is as still, but inside of it there is a program, software, so that it wants to develop. And this is why it is called vegetative, or a plant. That is, wherever I may look at something, still vegetative, animate, a person, if I had an X-ray machine and I could see what's inside, in the essence of it, I see a desire there. Dr. Laitman, the desire of the still, and from it later on the vegetative, and from it later on the animate, and from that the speaking. This process will continue, it will develop onward. Dr. Laitman, no, there's no more than men. Now, that development, when we study the wisdom of Kabbalah, our purpose is to develop, right? Dr. Laitman, this is the quality of development that exists in every desire, that this desire, even though it is still, but what does it want? It wants to maintain itself in its fixed form. And this is why, in order to break its fixed form, we have to influence it forcefully. Now, with the vegetative, its desire is to grow, to carry out its inner software, which exists in it, in the vegetative, besides the fact that it maintains itself, also to have development. And in the animate, Dr. Laitman, in the animate even more the same, but even more so. The animate already is capable, it moves, it develops, it gives birth. People are the animate degree. This means that the transitions and the developments, it's like the desire becomes more and more sophisticated, if you can say that. Dr. Laitman, yes. We talked before about the fact that man is not just a desire, his primary desire is the desire to receive pleasure. Dr. Laitman, yes. What does it mean that man's primary desire is to receive pleasure and delight? Let's say, if I think about myself, I have 1,001 things that I want besides getting pleasure and delight. For example, I want to study something, I want to develop, I want to create. Where are these things in relation to that definition that the man wants to receive pleasure and delight? Where are the other things? Dr. Laitman, this is inside your will to receive, that you want to enjoy. The will to receive is a desire to enjoy, that you want to enjoy all kinds of different forms that also develop, each one according to its quality. Let's say I want to learn from you this wisdom of Kabbalah. Is this related to pleasure and delight? Dr. Laitman, of course. Why else would you do it? Or in order to develop. Dr. Laitman, develop why? What for? Because this wisdom seems very interesting to me. Dr. Laitman, in order to enjoy, there is nothing more than that. What you said now, this explains the fact that man's essence is the will to receive? Dr. Laitman, yes. Oren, so there's some envelope in which there are 1,001 other things, but in the essence of it, Dr. Laitman, yes. Sometimes we learn that behaviorists explain that man likes to enjoy. Is that what the wisdom of Kabbalah says? Dr. Laitman, yes, certainly in our nature we are a will to receive, a desire to enjoy, a desire to feel ourselves, each one according to his nature. So if I develop more with the help of the wisdom of Kabbalah, what changes will occur in my life, in the kinds of pleasures that I will receive, that I will want to receive and will receive? Dr. Laitman, all in all, yes, that's true. All in all, you choose each and every time through the study of the wisdom of Kabbalah what is worthwhile to enjoy more and more. That's strong. Is that what we do all of our life? We choose what to enjoy from? Dr. Laitman, it's the whole of creation. In Kabbalah, there is this sentence which kind of shakes you. It says that one who has 100 wants 200. If I'll translate it to a simple language, you get something, now you'll want double. Why does it work this way? If I want to receive pleasure and delight, and I want 100, then I receive the 100. Why is it always that at the end it makes the person feel unsatisfied, whatever he achieved already? Dr. Laitman. Because in the still, the will to receive does not change, it doesn't develop. In the vegetative, it develops already, and we can see that, and therefore it is called vegetative or plant growing. In the animate, it doesn't just grow, it's also animate, living. Meaning that it changes in its different qualities, it moves from place to place, it builds for itself all kinds of additional things, more than what nature gave it when it was born. It also builds for itself a home, let's say, the way animals do, and so on. And people, humans, they are even more developed. They also develop in a form of science and education and culture and so on, meaning in addition to what they have out of nature. Okay, but if I achieve something, Dr. Laitman, then you enjoy it. Or fine, so why do they say that one who has 100 wants 200? Dr. Laitman, that's this software, the program that exists inside of us that constantly compels us to develop our will to receive, so that we're not satisfied with what we receive from nature. I want more. So I look at others, what do they enjoy from? And I also want to enjoy from that. I want what somebody else has. That is, we are constantly learning from what else can I fulfill myself. Why is it built this way, Dr. Laitman? In order to develop, in order to discover the will to receive on higher degrees, and in this way to reach a state where I will finally learn what is the result that should be. What is the result that we should reach? Dr. Laitman, that I will receive the whole of reality. Or I'm in. What's the secret? How can we receive the whole of reality? Dr. Laitman, if you'll have a desire for that. Okay, so how do we build a desire for it? Dr. Laitman, because otherwise, how will you receive if you don't have a will to receive? That is, just like we see in our life, there are people who settle for whatever they have, and some develop a bit more or more. A great person, why is he great? Why? Because his desire that he was born with and developed in it, it's a unlimited desire. So, and then here, there's a question. What does he do with his desire? Does he want to limit it, that this is enough for him? Or is he willing to do anything only in order to fill it. I heard you say once that the wisdom of Kabbalah is called this way, the wisdom of how to receive. So in this wisdom, I'm taught how to solve this problem that I want. One who has 100 wants 200 and is always remaining unsatisfied. Dr. Laitman, in this wisdom, you are taught what truly you can receive. So what can I truly receive? Dr. Laitman, the whole of reality. How? Dr. Laitman, first you need to want it. Okay, so how do we develop a desire to receive the whole of reality? Dr. Laitman, that's exactly the wisdom. This is precisely the wisdom, how to reach a state where you will want to receive the whole of reality. I have a question from a bit of a different angle. If so far we're talking about the fact that a person in his essence is a will to receive, sometimes I feel like volunteering, helping, giving love, to give love to someone. No, not for something, but from my heart I feel like it. What does that stand in relation to the definition that in my essence I'm a will to receive? I'm showing you states where I actually feel like giving, doing good to someone. Dr. Laitman, it doesn't matter what you actually do, but rather what matters is the essence of the action, and the essence of the action is pleasure. For me. Yes, of course. This means that when I volunteer, Dr. Laitman, even when you give, there are people who really contribute to donate a great deal, but they feel that they're getting pleasure from that. So it's not that the action is important, I gave, I took, but rather if inside this engine, this inner engine is working, and it is filled with pleasure and delight, then there can be all kinds of different manifestations of that, different expressions. Dr. Laitman, yes, I get it. Now in Kabbalah, they tell us that the Creator doesn't have a will to receive for himself. He only wants to bestow good, to give. Why can't I be like the Creator if we're talking about that? Dr. Laitman, because we are a will to receive. We're not capable of bestowing, giving. If we are already willing to give to someone, then we're willing to give only because we love that person. He's close to us, and this is why it's important for us to give to him or her, because for us this is greater pleasure than if we will receive. This happens even when we don't know that person personally. If I feel good about giving to a stranger, so long as I will, Dr. Laitman, yes. And the Creator, when we say the Creator has no will to receive for himself at all, only to bestow what does he want, Dr. Laitman, that's a different reality that we do not understand, we do not feel, we can't get to know him, but rather from your actions we know you. It's called. What does that mean? Dr. Laitman, that if we begin to bestow, and that's really the whole wisdom of Kabbalah, it brings us to a state where we are capable of bestowing, then we realize that this is the essence of the Creator. This is the Creator's action. So if the Creator, if we can say that he has a desire to bestow, to do good, Dr. Laitman, yes. But he created us with the opposite desire, with the desire to receive for ourselves? Yes. Why did he make us the opposite of him? Dr. Laitman, so that out of this oppositeness we will get to know him, we will understand him, we will come closer to him, become similar to him, and then we will be called Adam, similar to the Creator. So this is a process of a change? Dr. Laitman, yes. I change my essence. Dr. Laitman, you change. Well, you don't change your essence because your essence remains the will to receive, which is the opposite of the Creator. However, on top of this essence, you acquire a new form, which is called to be similar to the Creator. What form? Tell me about it. Bestow, giving, love. And this is different from the way that I volunteer today. Dr. Laitman, I don't know where you volunteer, in what way, or I volunteer in medical assistance, but people volunteer in different ways. Dr. Laitman, Okay, so are those people like the Creator? Dr. Laitman, entirely not. No. So explain the difference, because there where you volunteer, it doesn't matter what you call it, your volunteering is in order to fulfill your ego. You want to protect yourself, and therefore this volunteering, it's not really in order to bestow, in order to resemble the Creator. So what is this development that you call in order to bestow, to be similar to the Creator? What is that, Dr. Laitman? These are truly acts of bestowal where I have no relation to the results. Are there stages in this development? Yes. So give me the main stages. Right now, in my essence, a desire to receive pleasure and delight. What's the next stage, Dr. Laitman? The next stage is that over your desire to receive pleasure and delight, you make a restriction. What is a restriction? Dr. Laitman, you're restricted. You don't want to receive anything for yourself out of which you enjoy. Oren, what's the next stage, Dr. Laitman? That you begin to be a bestower to some extent. Tell me a bit about the word bestower, giver. What is that, Dr. Laitman? That you feel others. What does he want? And whatever he wants. Why is that worthwhile for me, Dr. Laitman? Because by this you acquire equivalence of form with the Creator. What does that word mean, equivalence of form? Dr. Laitman, that in that you resemble the Creator. What does that give me, Dr. Laitman? To feel something that the Creator feels. What does the Creator feel, Dr. Laitman? What the Creator feels is called light. And then when you will perform the same action as the Creator, you will feel that state called light. Is this good, Dr. Laitman? Yes. How good? Why? Dr. Laitman, why is it good? Because by that you resemble the Creator. And how good is it? Dr. Laitman, as much as you are able to give from yourself to others. Or unfortunately, our time is almost up. I'd like us to summarize. So, fundamental concepts in the wisdom of Kabbalah. Today we took this concept of the will to receive. You taught me a lot of wonderful things. Summarize it. What is the will to receive? Dr. Laitman, the whole of creation from its beginning to its end, besides the will to receive, all the rest we get from the Creator. The will to receive was created existence out of absence. It did not exist before creation. And the whole of creation is actually that the Creator from zero, from nothing, from something that did not exist, he created the will to receive. And all the rest, all the other forms that the will to receive goes through, that already belongs to the wisdom of Kabbalah itself. What do you wish for me as a person who is beginning to study this wisdom in my spiritual development in relation to my will to receive? Dr. Laitman, come in, read, listen. We have a full archive. We have a library for each and everything, and it's organized properly so that you will not become confused, and you will be able to make of yourself a human being, Adam. Adam is one who makes of himself one who is similar to the Creator. Good luck. Oren, thank you very much. Dr. Laitman, thank you very much for being with us.